All right, everyone get ready because today we are going deep behind the scenes at theme parks.
Ooh, exciting.
Yeah, we're going to be talking about how to get that job as a theme park technician.
That's right.
And we have the RoleCatcher Career Guide and Interview Guide to help us out today.
Awesome.
So think of this deep dive as your secret weapon to really impressing those hiring managers.
Yeah.
Not just about knowing what to say, but how to say it right.
Exactly. And it's really not just about knowing how to use a wrench to fix something. It's really about showing them how passionate you are about theme parks.
Oh, for sure.
And your problem-solving skills and how dedicated you are to keeping all those rides running smoothly and safely.
Yeah, totally. So let's start by setting the scene. What does this job actually involve?
Okay.
The career guide makes it sound pretty cool. It's not your average mechanic job, is it?
Oh, definitely not. I mean, think of it more like being the guardian of the magic.
Ooh.
You're responsible for the heart and soul of the theme park.
Yeah.
The rides that give you all the thrills and make those awesome memories.
Okay, that sounds pretty amazing. But what does that look like day to day?
Well, you'd be troubleshooting complex systems,
Cool.
from hydraulics to control systems and keeping super detailed records. And honestly, working with some really cutting-edge technology.
So it's a mix of hands-on stuff and also high-tech problem solving.
Exactly.
Wow.
And don't forget the safety side of things. I mean, as a theme park technician, you're a big part of making sure every guest that gets on those rides is safe.
That makes a lot of sense. I mean, safety is the #1 thing in a theme park.
Absolutely.
The guide also mentioned that the industry is always changing, all the time.
Yeah.
What does that mean for people who want to be technicians?
Well, basically means you need to be a lifelong learner.
Right.
I mean, new technology is coming out all the time.
So, yeah.
Things like advanced diagnostic software and predictive maintenance tools.
Wow.
So staying ahead of the game is really important.
Okay, so you need to be adaptable and always want to learn new things.
Got it. Yes.
But let's get down to the nitty-gritty here.
Yeah.
What are some of the questions that always come up in these interviews? And how can RoleCatcher's AI help someone create the perfect answer?
Let's start with one that pops up a lot at the beginning.
Okay.
Tell us about your experience working with ride control systems.
Ah, the classic.
Yeah.
It seems pretty simple, but what are they really trying to find out?
Well, they want to see what your technical knowledge is like.
Right.
And your actual hands-on experience.
Okay.
So things like, have you worked with PLCs before? Do you understand the different types of sensors and actuators?
Okay.
This is your time to show them what you know.
So how can someone use RoleCatcher to make their answer really stand out?
Well, RoleCatcher's AI can look at the specific job description and figure out exactly what skills they're looking for.
What?
So let's say they're really emphasizing experience with hydraulic systems. RoleCatcher's going to suggest you talk about projects or work experience you have that's related to hydraulics.
Okay.
That way your answer matches up perfectly with what they need.
That's super helpful.
It is.
It's it takes away the guesswork of trying to figure out how to change your answer for each job.
Exactly.
Okay, great.
And it doesn't just help with content, it also gives you feedback on your delivery.
Oh, wow.
How you sound and your pace, so you can make a really strong impression.
Okay, so RoleCatcher's like having your own personal coach, right there in your pocket.
Pretty much.
Wow, amazing.
Oh.
All right, let's get back to those questions. What other tricky ones might they ask?
Well, they might ask something like this. Can you describe a time when you had to troubleshoot a complex issue with a ride?
Ooh. Okay, this is where those problem-solving skills come in, right?
Totally. They want to see how you think.
Yeah.
Your ability to figure out problems step by step and how you don't give up until you find a solution.
So how should someone structure their answer to that?
Use the STAR method. Situation, task, action, result.
Okay.
So describe the situation, what you had to do, the steps you took, and the positive result you got.
And make sure to use an example that shows off the skills they want, right, based on that job description.
Exactly. RoleCatcher can help you pick out those key skills.
Yeah.
And choose the best example from your experience.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, what about a question like, how do you stay up to date on the latest technology and industry trends in theme park maintenance?
This is your chance to show them you're really passionate about this.
Right.
And that you're committed to always learning.
Okay.
So talk about industry publications, you read conferences, you've been to online courses, you've taken things like that.
So basically you're showing them that you're taking charge of your own learning.
Exactly.
And being proactive.
Yes. And RoleCatcher can actually give you specific resources
Oh, wow.
that are tailored to the job you're going for.
Okay.
So your answer is really relevant and up to date.
That's brilliant. Okay, how about this one? How do you prioritize and manage your workload, especially in a fast-paced environment like a theme park?
Good one.
I s-
Well, organization and time management are super important here.
Right.
So describe how you prioritize tasks. You
Mhm.
know, maybe you use a to-do list, a project management app, or a mix of things.
Yeah, and make sure you emphasize your ability to deal with unexpected stuff
Definitely.
and adapt your plans if you need to.
Yeah, theme parks are all about being flexible.
Right.
Things can change in a second, so being able to think on your feet and switch up your priorities is crucial.
Totally. Okay, let's switch gears and talk about safety. I
Okay.
mean, this is obviously huge in any theme park.
Oh, for sure.
What kinds of safety questions might come up in an interview, and how should someone answer them?
They often ask something like, how do you ensure that rides are operating safely for guests?
Okay.
And this is where you show them you understand safety protocols, regulations, and best practices.
You just like list off all the safety checks you do.
Well, it's more than just listing things off.
Okay.
You need to show them that you really care about safety.
Right.
So describe how you do those inspections. Really thoroughly emphasize your attention to detail
Okay.
and highlight how you're always looking out for potential hazards.
So it's about showing that safety is just a part of how you work, not just something you check off a list.
Exactly.
Got it.
And remember, RoleCatcher can help you tailor your answer
Mm-hmm.
to match the specific safety standards of that park.
That's incredible. Okay, let's try another one.
Mm.
Can you describe a time when you had to work under pressure to resolve a critical issue with a ride? That sounds kind of stressful.
It can be, but it's also a chance to show them that you can stay calm, think clearly, and solve problems even when things are hectic.
Okay, so how do you turn like a potentially bad situation into a good example?
Focus on the steps you took.
Okay.
Explain how you figured out what was going on, gathered information, maybe worked with other people, and then came up with the solution. And of course, talk about the positive outcome, how your actions got the ride back up and running safely.
Right, and like minimized any problems for the guests.
Exactly.
So you're basically turning a challenge into proof of your awesome problem-solving skills.
Exactly. And once again, RoleCatcher can help you choose the best example from your past experience
Mm-hmm.
and make sure your answer fits with the specific challenges that are common at that particular park.
That's amazing. Okay, let's move on to a question about teamwork.
Okay.
Can you describe a time when you had to collaborate with other teams or departments to resolve an issue?
Theme parks are all about teamwork.
Oh, for sure.
Ride technicians work closely with ride operators, maintenance crews, engineers, even guest relations teams.
Wow, so they're looking for someone who's a team player.
It's more than that, they want to see that you can communicate well, coordinate efforts, and work towards a common goal.
So what kind of example would really show off those skills?
Talk about a time when you had to work with a bunch of different people to fix a tricky problem.
Mm.
Describe the challenge, the different roles everyone played, and how you all communicated and worked together to get a good result.
And highlight your specific contribution to the team, right?
Yes.
Like, did you help everyone communicate? Did you bring a special skill set to the table?
Exactly.
Right.
Those details show them how valuable you are as a team member
Right.
and how you can help everyone succeed.
Okay, wow, we've covered a lot of ground here.
We have.
But before we jump into more interview questions and career insights, let's take a quick break and come back ready for part 2 of this electrifying deep dive.
Sounds good. Welcome back, everyone. So we've been talking a lot about interview questions, getting ready for that big day.
Right.
But there's something else we need to talk about.
Okay, what's that?
The actual career path, like what happens after you get the job.
That's a good point.
So the RoleCatcher Career Guide actually outlines a pretty clear progression.
Okay.
You start with entry-level positions and then move up to senior technician roles. You could even go into management or become a specialist in certain types of rides.
So you're not just stuck working on like the same carousel forever.
Definitely not.
Okay, that's good to know.
Imagine becoming like the expert for the park's biggest roller coaster.
Wow.
Or leading a team of technicians who keep those awesome high-flying rides running smoothly.
That sounds pretty cool. Okay, so there's room to grow and specialize. That's awesome.
Yeah.
But how do you go from entry level to expert?
Right.
The guide mentioned keeping up with industry trends. How do you actually do that?
Well, it's all about being a constant learner.
Okay.
Think about manufacturer training programs. They give you in-depth knowledge on specific ride systems.
Okay.
It's almost like getting a master class from the people who actually built them.
Oh, wow, that's amazing.
And then there are those industry certifications.
Right.
Those are like gold.
Yeah, I keep hearing about those.
They prove your skills to employers,
Hmm.
and they can open doors to new opportunities. Plus, they show that you're committed to your professional development.
That makes sense.
Okay.
And the guide mentioned IAPA. What do they do?
Oh, IAP is a great resource.
Okay.
It stands for the International Association of Amusement Parks and Attractions.
Okay.
And they host conferences, workshops, trade shows.
Wow.
It's like a giant gathering of theme park people from all over the world.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah, you can learn a lot and meet potential employers.
Oh, that's a good point. Networking is super important.
Right.
So it's not just about learning, it's about making connections too.
Exactly. And speaking of showing off your skills,
Yeah.
the guide mentioned portfolios.
Okay, portfolios for theme park technicians.
I know it sounds a little different,
Yeah.
but think about it. You could have pictures and videos of those really tough repairs you did.
Okay.
Or documentation of like preventative maintenance programs you put in place.
I
There's
see
like
it.
a highlight reel of all your technical skills.
Okay, back to interview questions.
All right.
Any other curveballs you should be ready for?
They might ask about your specific interests within the theme park world.
Oh, okay.
So things like, what's your favorite type of ride?
Uh-huh.
Why do you want to work at this particular park?
Mm-hmm.
What impact do you hope to make in this role?
So it's not just about the technical stuff. It's about showing your passion and enthusiasm for the industry.
Exactly. Theme park employers want people who really love what they do.
Right.
People who get that. It's all about creating amazing experiences for the guests.
For sure. The guy did mention that this job can be tough, though,
Yeah.
especially during peak seasons.
Right.
How should candidates talk about that in an interview?
You need to acknowledge the challenges,
Okay.
but also highlight your ability to handle them.
So, like, what could you say?
Something like, I know this job involves long hours and weekend work, but I actually thrive in fast-paced environments, and I'm committed to making sure things run smoothly.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it. You're not pretending it's easy, but you're showing that you're up for the challenge. Okay, what about salary expectations? How do you handle that conversation?
Do your research.
Okay.
Websites like Glassdoor or Indeed can give you an idea of what theme park technicians make in your area.
Oh, that's helpful.
Yeah, and then you can confidently talk about your expectations.
Okay.
You can say something like, based on my research and experience, I'm looking for a salary in this range.
So you're not just throwing out a random number?
Nope. And be open to talking about the details,
Okay.
based on the responsibilities of the role and the whole compensation package.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, we talked about how RoleCatcher helps with resumes.
Right.
But what about actually practicing for the interview?
Oh, RoleCatcher can actually do mock interviews.
Really?
Yeah, and give you feedback on your answers.
Wow, it's like having a coach right there on your phone.
Exactly. You can practice answering common questions, get tips on your delivery, and see where you can improve.
That's so cool.
And the best part is it's all tailored to the specific job you want.
So it's not just generic advice, it's really
Yeah.
specific to that position.
Exactly. RoleCatcher analyzes the job description,
Uh-huh.
figures out what skills and qualities they're looking for,
Yeah.
and helps you create answers that highlight your strengths.
That's amazing.
Uh,
Okay. We've talked about so much.
We have.
Interview questions, career paths, RoleCatcher.
It's been a lot.
Is there anything else we missed? Any last words of wisdom for aspiring theme park technicians?
Remember, this field is about more than just technical skills.
Okay.
It's about passion, dedication, and a love for the magic of theme parks.
Right.
Let that shine through in your interview.
That's a good reminder. Technical skills are important,
Absolutely.
but enthusiasm and a genuine love for the industry can really make you stand out.
Exactly. And don't forget to have fun.
Oh, yeah. Good point.
Theme parks are all about joy and excitement.
Right.
Let that energy show in your interview, and you'll definitely make a good impression.
Excellent advice.
Ooh.
All right, welcome back for the final part of our theme park technician deep dive.
Yeah.
We've covered so much ground already.
Yeah, we have.
Interview bear, prep career paths, RoleCatcher, you name it.
I think we've given them a lot to think about.
Yeah, for sure. But before we wrap things up and send you all off to conquer those interviews,
Okay.
are there any other resources that aspiring technicians should know about?
Well, we talked about IBPA and RoleCatcher.
Right.
Those are both great resources.
Yeah.
But the guide also mentions internships.
Okay. Yeah, internships are those, like, essential to getting a job.
They're not always required, but they can definitely give you an edge. It's like a trial run. You get to see what the day-to-day work is like, learn about the different systems,
Right.
and connect with people who are already working in the field.
So it's like getting a sneak peek behind the scenes, and even if it's not a requirement for a specific job,
Yeah.
it shows that you're taking initiative and you're really passionate.
Exactly. And don't forget about volunteering.
Oh, that's a good point.
Some local amusement parks or even community fairs need help with maintenance and repairs.
Yeah, that's true. Any experience with mechanical or electrical systems can be helpful.
Right.
Okay, let's say you nailed the interview and got the job.
All right.
What advice would you give someone starting their first day as a theme park technician?
Be a sponge.
A sponge.
Yeah, soak up everything you can from the more experienced technicians.
Okay.
Ask questions, watch how they do things, take notes.
Right.
It's like an apprenticeship within the job.
I like that analogy.
Yeah.
So basically, be eager to learn and don't be afraid to ask for help.
Exactly. And don't be afraid to get your hands dirty.
Right.
Learn from the ground up and never, ever compromise on safety.
Safety first.
Absolutely.
Yeah, the guide really emphasized that over and over.
For good reason, theme park environments can be dangerous if you're not careful.
Yeah, that's true.
You really have to understand and follow those safety rules.
Okay. The guide also mentioned that there will be stressful situations,
Oh, yeah.
especially during those busy times.
Definitely.
Any tips for dealing with those high-pressure moments?
The most important thing is to stay calm.
Take a deep breath.
Exactly. Take a deep breath, figure out what's going on, prioritize your tasks, and communicate clearly with your team.
So important. Good communication.
Yeah. And remember, even the most experienced technicians run into unexpected problems.
That's true.
So don't hesitate to ask for help when you need it.
It's okay to ask for help.
Oh, absolutely. There's no shame in that.
Yeah, teamwork is so important in this field.
It really is. Everyone has their strengths.
Yeah.
And everyone relies on each other to keep things running smoothly and, most importantly, safely.
Okay, so as we wrap up this deep dive,
Yeah.
what would you say is the most important thing for success as a theme park technician? Is it just about technical skills, or is there something more to it?
Well, technical skills are the foundation for sure.
Right.
But passion, dedication, and a genuine love for the magic of theme parks, that's what makes a technician truly exceptional.
It's that extra spark,
Yes.
that willingness to go above and beyond to make sure the guests have an amazing time.
Exactly. And never forget, this industry is always changing.
Right. New rides, new technology, new challenges.
It's a career that never gets boring.
So if you're someone who loves solving problems, working with your hands, and thrives in a dynamic environment,
Yeah.
a career as a theme park technician might be the perfect fit for you.
It could be, and with the help of RoleCatcher and all the insights we've shared in this deep dive,
Yeah.
you'll be well on your way to landing that dream job and starting an exciting career behind the scenes of the theme park world.
That wraps up this thrilling deep dive.
Woo!
We hope you've learned a lot and feel ready to take that next step in your career journey.
Yeah, good luck out there.
Remember, keep exploring, keep learning, and never stop chasing those dreams until next time.
Bye, everyone. Bye.